Welcome back. We have four-time Olympian, 2016 silver medalist, three-time UCI world champion, 12-time USA BMX national number one pro, two-time national number one girl, and two-time national number one girl cruiser, Alise Willoughby, with Bo here leading into the Grand Nationals. Alise, we've missed you on the tour this year, but just tell us how you've been. How have things been? New mom life, new chapter in your life. How's it going?
Yeah, thank you for the nice intro. I feel like I have dedicated 2025 to the newest title of mom on the list, and it's been super rewarding. I think you hear it all the time from everybody, like it's gonna be the hardest, most challenging, but also most rewarding thing that you'll do, and it's proven the same thus far, everything they've been saying. So as he's trying to chat and take over the conversation, he's ready. He was along for the ride in Tulsa last year, so he's no stranger to the Expo and SageNet Center up there. But it's been really a good few months, a good year. I mean, I obviously haven't raced since the last Grands, and I couldn't thank like all my sponsors and just the BMX family of supporters enough for the continued support, even through I don't know, I guess you call it a down year of being off the track at least. I've missed being out there and that competitive, I don't know, just being out there in the gate with all the ladies. I do miss that, but I 100% have thoroughly enjoyed taking on this new chapter and just looking at new ways to kind of work with my sponsors and the things within the industry, the ways to be collaborative and marketing and all that kind of stuff, and kind of build upon what's been 20, we added it up, like 27 years straight in Tulsa for me. So a lot of experience there to grow and capitalize on with all of that, with all of them. And I'm excited now kind of on this side of the chapter, having had Bo now, to kind of start getting back to the same old, at least the regular scheduled programming here in the near future. But the last few months have just been a whirlwind of being a complete rookie at a totally new thing. So that's where we're at.
Yeah, I mean, starting your pro career in 2015 or no, 2005. I'm way off.
2006. Yeah, I was like
2006.
2015. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, that was well into it.
Well, 2006 all the way up to 2024. You were training, honing in your craft, and getting used to that lifestyle. Now with Bo, the mom lifestyle is an added bonus to the BMX life of Alise. But we talked in Bakersfield earlier this year. Before you had Bo, you came in and hung out at the ODI tent and jumped on our Flow broadcast. But what have you, you've been at home, you've been watching, what have you been seeing throughout this year, and what's kind of been piquing your interest, I guess, through the season?
Yeah, it's been so, I guess, different vantage point watching from home now, and getting to tune into all the flow stuff and watch everybody compete and the sport continue to evolve, I guess, and the riders obviously grow and develop. I think it's just been, I think for me it's been probably the most interesting to kind of see the racing from a non-stressed out standpoint. Like normally, like I'm in there, you're thinking about how everything and how the day needs to go. Everything's planned out, routine, and like just watching completely like remove like stress free, but like I don't know, still knowing how everybody's feeling. It kind of gives you, I think for me, it's kind of giving me a whole new perspective on what a day lining up in the gate can feel like. And without bringing the same a different stress. Now I'm worried about different things in the day and different schedules. I can't be that same, per se selfish athlete, that mentality that you kind of have to have a lot of the time to excel at your craft. And now I get to look at ways that I can improve myself and grow in different ways as an athlete, and try to still come up with, those same results. So I think it's a super cool new challenge. But for me, I guess being removed and just seeing the racing from a very, carefree light has been really interesting. And like I said, given me a new perspective on it.
Definitely. Well, being, away from the track, seeing it from a different perspective, you've always been one in your racing career to, it seems like you are successful with the brands that you work with. You represent them well, you take care of them just like they take care of you. How has that been through this season, and has that kind of switched your mind into, okay, I can help a Pro Max, later on in life?
Yeah. Sorry, we're teething, I think. Yeah. I think that, I've been super fortunate to align with brands I believe in over the years. And I mean, I think so 2016, after the Rio Games and Sam's injury, that's when my longtime partner and factory partner, Redline, that team disbanded, and we kind of had to rebuild from scratch after that. And that was a learning curve in itself, but I was able to align with these individual brands. And I'm not necessarily tied on just a team at this point, but I'm very aligned with, my network of partners that I've, hand selected, and they've hand selected to work with me. So all of those have been really, rewarding and supportive all like this whole time. Really, I can't say any of them, like, people haven't wavered, which has been amazing. And I think that the effort that I've put in off the track as much as on the track. I mean, obviously winning on the track, there's no substitute for that with brands, but I think putting in the effort outside of it to wear their t-shirt, do things like this, chat with you, work with the brands, like developmentally wise on R&D stuff, and kind of just share experiences, because a lot of times they're not the ones, riding the bike, so they can always learn from the rider and get that vantage point. And like, I think it's important, like, as far as this day and age with all of the social media stuff, like I can still be, and any rider can still be so, active, no matter where they are in the world, to support these brands the same way that they're, investing and supporting you. And like, the way I look at it often is like, I mean, they've been long term, so I look at them more like family at this point. But at the same time, like, when you start to represent a brand, you got to look at yourself as an employee of that brand. Like, if they're paying you to do a job or supporting you to do a job, you got to show up to do the work. And that's the stuff on the track, that's the stuff outside of it, that's, speaking just word of mouth with people about brands, and it's the whole package. So I've always really tried to put an emphasis on doing that for everyone, and I think it's come full circle in this past year when I haven't been able to be on the track, representing in that form. And yeah, I definitely think that, down the track here, as I'm getting older and towards the end of this on track career, that I can definitely foresee, and I think they see the value in working, with me moving forward on things and supporting these brands moving forward. Isn't more of an ambassador role, or, like I said, behind the scenes kind of stuff.
Definitely. Well, you have a lot of knowledge in your brain of, yes, brands, the athletic side of it, the preparation and racing, mentality and physicality. But when it's coming to the Grand Nationals specifically, what's been the Grand's prep for you in these past, 10, 15, or 28 years, 27 years? What's Grand's prep looked for you?
Yeah, obviously it's evolved over the years, being 27 of them. But I think, back to, Minnesota days, that Grand's prep was always just, you only got the indoor track time. And now the people are so blessed with Rum River having that indoor facility there. So that's really great. I actually did that as my prep again a couple of years ago when my grandpa passed away, and I spent a little time in Minnesota right before the Grands, and I was, back to the old school indoor small track routes, and that was fun and refreshing. And that was actually the year when I won my 10th pro title. So I think it worked well, and it was a breath of fresh air to get back to the roots. But I think now, fast forward well into my elite career now. I mean, I've been out and I spend most of the time out here in San Diego area prepping. In those final weeks, it's always like super exciting when the final race of the season kicks off, of like regular season kicks off, and then you get that under your belt, and it's like that kickstart into Grand's prep, and that's changed over the years. Sometimes that's only 4 weeks. Sometimes like this one's a bit longer because Thanksgiving falls later in the month, and I always love when it was a little bit longer. I thought that was good because you actually got a bit more time to kind of build on something. But yeah, I love the sun starts setting earlier. You're riding up late, under the lights at the local track nights, and still doing the same, gym and sprints and track and all that kind of stuff. But it's just like a general vibe that you get pre-grands because it's kind of, sun setting earlier. And like I said, you're under the lights, and doing those night sessions out at the local track is awesome, and kind of just gets you in the mood for the night show, like start doing everything a little later at night.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, well, I have to ask. We've had a lot of BMX babies this year. Obviously, you and Sam, Lauren, and Ray, and then Mariana. I mean, we're seeing your generation get some kids under their belt. Are we already eyeing them up for competition wise? Do you know the birthdays of everybody yet, or how's that going?
We have, yeah, we have some 2025 birthdays, that's for sure. So, yeah, I think Bo's smack dab in the middle. I feel like Bo is kind of like the first of this year for the trickle effect. I know Ryan, Lauren's wife's baby, is just arrived, and Mariana could be anytime now. So they're November babies, so they're SOL on the grand's birthdays. But then my Hannah Hubert out of Daylight, they had theirs about a month after Bo, actually on Sam's birthday. So they're August babies, and they have a little boy, whereas the other Ryan and Lauren ended up with a little lady. So yeah, they'll have to race in mixed open, whereas
Right.
the other ones will race in the boys class. So yeah, we got to eye up our competition there. But yeah, he's not too bad either way. But as far as the worlds go, he's going to be probably celebrating at the world every year with a July birthday.
That's awesome. Well, Alise, I mean, thank you so much for talking to us. And in your busy life, being a new mother, and while we will miss you at Grands, we will cheer on everybody in your class and in your corner, out in the pits and on track. We're really excited for you.
Thank you. I'm excited to watch and wish everyone a good, happy, healthy weekend. And I'm excited to watch the action unfold. And as much as I say it's stress-free watching from the sidelines, I still feel like I'm riding with people. So I do feel it for you. So enjoy those nerves, embrace them, and yeah, everyone have a good weekend.